This hour, and tonight we want to get right to them.
Let's begin with breaking news out of Springfield. State Senate voting to pass its version of an assault weapons ban. It now heads back to the Illinois House.
Getting that ban approved was a top goal Governor J.B. Pritzker talked about today as he was sworn in for his second term for 4 years as governor. Political reporter Craig Wall tonight reports from Springfield.
The Senate tonight voting on a revised version of what passed out of the House last night, and just a short time ago the Senate did approve that bill. It'll now be sent back to the House. The governor making it clear that he wants an assault weapons ban passed as part of the agenda for his second term.
I, J.B. Pritzker,
do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
Governor J.B. Pritzker taking the oath of office to begin his second term with what he called a bold and ambitious agenda for the next 4 years. And one of his more immediate concerns, making sure lawmakers pass a ban on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines.
I'm tired of living in a world where a mass shooting needs a title so that you know which one we're referring to.
Prompted by the July 4th parade shooting in Highland Park and previous mass shootings, the House passed a bill Friday that is now before the Senate. Initially, senators amended the bill to take out a requirement that owners must report the serial numbers of assault weapons that would be grandfathered in. Critics decried that as taking the teeth out of enforcement, and under pressure from Pritzker and others, it was put back in.
When I campaigned for re-election and promised to pass an assault weapons ban, 8 states already had one. Very soon, Illinois must be the 9th.
Besides the gun legislation, Pritzker also casting a vision for the next 4 years.
Our long-term ambitions must begin with a focus on the people for whom we are building.
The governor saying one focus will be on making preschool available all across the state, which drew a standing ovation. He got a similar reception with his plans to help with college costs.
Since I took office, we've increased scholarships by more than 50%. Now let's focus on making tuition free for every working class family in Illinois.
The assault weapons bill will now go back to the House, which reconvenes at noon tomorrow. House members will be able to vote yes or no on the bill. If they approve it, it will then go to the governor for his signature. In Springfield, Craig Wall, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
People on both sides of this issue paying close attention to the assault weapons ban debate happening down in Springfield. This morning, doctors on the front line of emergency and trauma care gathered at Rush University Medical Center to push for the ban.
No politician in this country will ever know what it feels like to tell someone that the person they love the most in the world is never coming home ever again because of gun violence.
Gun rights advocates say they'll challenge any new law in court.
We work very hard to make sure that we're serving only law-abiding, lawful, legally qualified customers. This has nothing to do with us.
So Senate passed its version of the bill. We'll keep a close eye on the vote in the House down in Springfield. I'll let you know how that works out when or if it passes.
Now to more breaking news tonight from Chicago's far south side. We have been told that 2 14-year-olds were hit by gunfire at 115th and Halsted in the West Pullman neighborhood. One was taken to the hospital in serious condition, the other in good condition.
Updating breaking news on the city's west side. SWAT standoff in Chicago's Lawndale neighborhood is now over after shots were fired during this incident. Happened near 16th and Springfield this afternoon. We now know no officers were hit, but one officer was taken to a hospital to get checked out. Extra precautions were taken at a nearby school for the release of students. Tonight, Joliet police say they're following up on leads in the investigation into a shooting that killed a 24-year-old woman. She was found dead in a vehicle, her 2-year-old daughter safe in the back seat. Eric Hong spoke to a friend of the victim.
Joliet police canceled a planned news conference for this afternoon, citing some new information that they were working with. In the meantime, that victim's 2-year-old daughter is being cared for by family members who are simply devastated by what's happened.
Loved ones of 24-year-old Maya Smith say she was a rock to the people in her life.
She always came through for me all the time. I know for me, I lost a sister. Maya was more like a sister to me than anything.
Tasia Waters among those in mourning after her best friend shortly after midnight Sunday morning was found in her car in this Joliet alley near the 1200 block of Clement Street. Smith had been shot multiple times. Her 2-year-old daughter found unharmed in the back seat.
We had our babies together. We carried our kids. We did our showers. I can't imagine like going through the rest of my life without calling her. Who would want to hurt her? I don't get it.
Police say they have no one in custody and are asking the public to come forward with information. Loved ones say Smith had a bank job, but was going back to school to take business courses.
She wanted to own her own business. She was to be successful any kind of way she could.
That friend says Smith had told her earlier in the day that she was planning to work food delivery that night, and so that could explain why she was in her vehicle. In Joliet, Eric Hong, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Eric, thank you for that update tonight. Let's go outside, everybody, on this Monday as we start another work week together looking at the city. It is sparkling in lights, but earlier today there was an APB out for sunshine, and it was discovered.
We have some things to cover. So, first of all, welcome back to our other Cheryl.
Yay! Happy Monday.
Right, this is how we missed you, by the way, a lot. Here's how it works. You come back, and the sun is shining.
Yes.
It's beautiful, and we have been slogging through some tough times.
Ooh, no, well, you know, Cheryl always signs like her emails, keep it sunny or something like that, or keep shining,
stay
sunshine
sunny,
or something
warmest,
like
yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, you know, the sun was shining today. It was Monday after coming back. It's Happy New Year, too. Happy New Year.
I know, it's been a while.
Right, so we can still say that, right?
Yeah,
still
for
say
sure.
it.
What is
okay,
it? It's the 9th?
It's the 9th, but I guess it's the first time you see somebody in the new year, you can still say Happy New Year. That's the rule.
Okay, good,
All
because
right.
I've seen you in like a month.
I know, right?
So it's great you're
Yeah.
back. We have so much catching up to do.
Yes.
Cheryl is here with, we're doing weather today, bringing the sunshine as well. We love to have
Warmer
you here.
temperatures,
Yeah,
too.
warmer
It was
temps.
nice. I saw a lot of people taking down their holiday decorations because, including me, I got out there, I had to start. You
got
know,
a lot.
'cause mine was massive.
Village. You missed some appearances by Lola.
Lola, no. Lola was here without me.
Well, we saw her. Let's just say that we saw her, we hugged her, we pet her. There was love.
You got to pet
I had seen her.
Lola?
She looks good. I'll just say that, right,
She's
Cheryl?
a showgirl.
right.
And that, you know, that's the song.
She'll be back. She'll be back.
She'll be back. It was nice to see her.
Maybe
in
for a
Oh, my
stream
goodness.
team
Was it in the new year that Lola made an appearance?
Well, I can't even
or was
keep
it
my
last
dates.
year?
I don't remember.
I haven't seen
I
it
don't
since
even
last
know.
year.
Right.
Thanks, Rob. Geez.
It might have been like a year ago, Cheryl Scott. I seriously don't remember.
Right.
I can't remember, but it was
Last
awesome.
year.
It was last year. It was a long time.
Yeah,
It was.
right.
It
I know.
was
And since then, Cheryl's been on Good Morning America. Rob, you've taken
Been
some
here.
time off. Oh, you've been
Just
here.
doing what I do, but it is
You do
nice
it great.
to-
You do a great job at what you do.
Yes.
So.
Oh, thank you. You always help my ego. Hi, Cheryl.
Okay, we need more sunshine, right?
Yes,
Right.
yes.
And I wish I could be saying we're going to see a whole lot more of it, but that won't be the case. But hey, we'll have these temperatures above average. We do have some clouds increasing here in coverage. Mostly cloudy skies expected tonight with a frontal boundary that's going to be working its way in. You can see a few spotty showers along this front. Not a lot of moisture out ahead of it, so not anticipating a whole lot in terms of any rain out of this, but a few passing sprinkles or showers possible tonight and into early tomorrow morning, 2 a.m. You can see most of that activity now pressing on the other side of the lake into parts of Michigan. Then we'll be mainly dry as we go into the start of our Tuesday in the mid to upper 30s and anticipating perhaps a few peaks of sun tomorrow afternoon, but mostly cloudy skies will be winning out with our high temps back in the upper 30s and low 40s. So again, around 2 o'clock, a peak or two of sunshine if we are lucky, but mostly cloudy. And then we have rain and snow chances on the increase later this week. And we'll look at that. The timing will break it all down coming up in a few. Back to you guys.
All right, Cheryl, thank you for that. Now to our I-Team. Following breaking news out of Washington, D.C. tonight, the Justice Department is reviewing possibly classified documents that were found in an office space belonging to President Biden. ABC News is reporting that U.S. Attorney John Lausch, the top federal prosecutor right here in Chicago, has been assigned to lead the investigation. Now, this probe is said to be focusing on a small number of items found at the Penn Biden Center, a think tank affiliated with the University of Pennsylvania. That is where the president kept in office after he left the vice presidency in 2017. President Biden's personal attorneys say they discovered the documents while clearing out a locked closet there back in November. It was the White House counsel's office who notified the National Archives about what they found, and the archives took custody of the documents the next day. We will continue to follow this breaking news story all night, and of course, you can go to our website and we'll have it on our news tonight at 10 o'clock.
Former Illinois House Speaker Michael Madigan will go on trial for racketeering charges on April 1st, 2024. Madigan and former state lobbyist Michael McLean charged with conspiring to use their political positions for personal gain. Prosecutors say the two earned benefits from private companies in exchange for favorable legislation. Madigan also allegedly had private legal work steered to his own law firm. Trial's expected to last about 6 to 7 weeks.
And tree branches holding apparent nooses are cut down by the city of Chicago at a home in the Gage Park neighborhood. The alderman for that area says neighbors have complained and the homeowner did not take them down. Stephanie Wade tonight reports.
The Department of Streets and Sanitation removed the 2 ropes from this tree that the aldermen say resemble nooses because the tree that the ropes were hanging from sits on city property. Crews came here this afternoon and removed them. Monday afternoon, Alderman Stephanie Coleman knocked on the door of a Gage Park home in the 5800 block of South Artesian Avenue, asking the homeowner to remove ropes hanging from a tree that she says appeared to be nooses. We've blurred those images. The owner wasn't home, but Alderman Coleman was able to reach him by phone.
He was very, very well informed that it was taken as a noose. As he said, my friends and I, my friends made jokes about it. And as I informed him, this is no laughing matter.
Alderman Coleman says the homeowner told her he had the ropes hanging up since October and that he claimed they were Halloween decorations.
Oh, it was something for Halloween. We had things hanging for Halloween some 5 months ago.
Our sons would ask what's going on, like what is that? We didn't know how to explain it.
April Bailey says she moved in next door 2 days ago and was shocked when she saw the ropes hanging, thinking they resembled a noose as well.
It reminds me of my people who once hung on them, and what happened back in the day. It's like history is replaying itself. It's I don't know what to think.
Today, with chainsaws, city crews removed the ropes and surrounding tree branches, as Alderman Raymond Lopez says, to prevent this from happening again.
That's why I've asked them to make sure that they trim these limbs so that nothing will hang off this tree, because clearly you don't know how to appreciate and respect your neighbors in this community.
We don't tolerate this. This is unacceptable. This is ignorance. And as Alderman Lopez and I said, this is quite frankly dumb.
Now, the homeowner is still not home yet to respond to all of this. As soon as he's here and we are able to speak with him, we will keep you updated. Reporting in Gage Park, Stephanie Wade, ABC7, Eyewitness News.
CPS issued a recommendation that students wear masks as they return to classrooms today. Students and staff were also asked to take free COVID tests before coming back from holiday break. The tests and masks not mandatory but precautionary as cases of a new COVID Omicron subvariant are being detected at Rush University's lab.
We went on vacation, so I knew I wanted to test her regardless.
Be cautious, be prepared, and hope we get through this winter.
Chicago's health commissioner says mask mandates for schools would only return if COVID levels increase sharply and hospitals become overwhelmed.
Now to a settlement tonight for the families of 3 women who died in a North Side apartment building during hot weather last year. A total of $16 million will be paid to the relatives of the 3 women who were found dead inside their senior apartment units last May. People living in James Schneider apartments in Rogers Park say management refused to turn off the heat in the building despite unseasonably hot weather. Autopsies showed that all 3 women died from excessive heat exposure.
Former CEO of Chicago-based McDonald's is facing charges by the SEC and a fine for allegedly lying to investors. Regulators charged Stephen Easterbrook with making false and misleading statements about his 2019 firing. Easterbrook was terminated for a relationship with an employee in violation of company policy. The Securities Exchange and Commission says Easterbrook lied about relationships he had with other subordinates. He has agreed to a $400,000 penalty and a 5-year ban from leading a company that reports to the SEC.
And the CTA is making schedule changes to try and make bus service more reliable throughout the city. Those changes taking effect yesterday for nearly half of the transit agency's routes. The goal is to improve bus tracker accuracy and cut down on so-called ghost buses. But a big hindrance to service remains. CTA says it's still looking to fill a shortage of 600 bus operators.
City of Chicago is hoping its plans for the future of Soldier Field will keep the Bears in Chicago.
But the team says it is committed to redeveloping in Arlington Park. John Garcia tonight sharing new reaction to the proposed changes to Soldier Field.
The Bears played the first 50 years of their existence at Wrigley Field. The last 50 or so have been right here at Soldier Field. The mayor of Arlington Heights is hoping they play at least the next 50 in the suburbs. Soldier Field has been a fixture on Chicago's lakefront for just shy of a century, long before the Bears started playing there. The controversial $632 million renovation 20 years ago reduced seating and failed to add a dome. The newest proposal by Landmark Development would remedy that issue, as illustrated in a slick new video released by the company yesterday.
This video shows you what can be done at Soldier Field to make it much more of a modern stadium.
Experts say the scope of any renovation at Soldier Field depends on whether the Bears play there, which many observers believe is a long shot at this point. Arlington Heights Mayor Tom Hayes says he expects the team to close on the purchase of the Arlington Park racetrack property in the next few weeks.
Nothing else that we can do at this point except wait and hope that this will become a reality.
The Bears are bound by contract to negotiate only with Arlington Park. Friends of the Parks issued this statement. Anyone who tries to build commercial real estate structures on Chicago's protected lakefront parkland can expect opposition from Friends of the Parks, up to and including legal action. The proposed renovation is part of a much larger plan by Landmark Development that would add all sorts of amenities to the area and turn it into a transportation hub. But Soldier Field would still be owned by the city. In Arlington Heights, the Bears would own the stadium.
They would control things like sponsorship, signage, naming rights. There's such a huge upside for the team revenue-wise in Arlington Heights.
That was a very impressive video that I saw, but it really doesn't solve the underlying problem for the Bears, which is ownership of the stadium.
Last night, the Bears said in a statement that they are not pursuing any stadium deals other than Arlington Heights, including renovations here at Soldier Field. Today, they also confirmed that they do intend to close on the purchase of the property in Arlington Heights sometime in the first quarter of this year. At Soldier Field, John Garcia, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Well, White Sox closer Liam Hendriks started treatment today.
He was diagnosed with a type of blood cancer. Hendriks revealing over the weekend that he is battling non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. It is a cancer that starts in the white blood cells and accounts for about 4% of all cancers, according to the American Cancer Society. The survival rate for at least 5 years post-diagnosis is more than 70%.
These days, we have many different treatments, depending upon the subtype. Some of them are not even chemotherapy-based, but immunologically based.
Well, Hendriks says he is confident he will make a full recovery and be back on the mound as soon as possible. And we here at ABC7 are wishing him the best blessings and, you know, the best medical care and a great attitude.
Right.
You know, that means a lot too.
Yeah, we know that.
We'll
He'll get support from his friends and family, and yeah, you're right.
Lots of loved ones, and then of course on social media, people have been sharing, you know, that they're behind him, and a lot of people have been surviving that. So
yeah, the percentage is keeps you optimistic.
70% after 5 years of diagnosis. We got you. We're praying for you.
Definitely.
All right, Liam.
Well, coming up, pressure to invest, the scams to watch out for as you look for new investments. That's ahead. Plus,
William and I made a pact, made a deal that no matter what, we would never let our officers fight against each other.
Well, Prince Harry is talking about his very own brother, his father, and so much more just ahead of the release of his new memoir.
I studied up over the weekend. I'm ready to talk about
it. Okay.
First rain and wind pounding parts of California. Have you seen some of this video? It's forcing thousands out of their homes. People in California dealing with flooding and mudslides as storms pummeled the state. In Santa Cruz County, tens of thousands of people have been ordered to leave their homes. The area is seeing several inches of rain in just a short period of time. And this storm system follows several other recent storms.
Well, those storms causing a tree to fall on a home and parked SUV in San Bruno, California. Thankfully, everyone is okay. Wow.
Nobody was hurt. You know, it only hit the front of their garage. So in these houses, all the bedrooms are in the back. So we were all safe for that respect.
Inches timing made the difference.
Sure
Oh
did.
my gosh. Wow. That is so good. Nobody got hurt. But you can see that interview was done in the dark because the downed trees also caused a power outage and a problem for thousands of people right now in California.
I tell you,
Incredible.
it is. And if you hear those chainsaws after a storm, you know
what's
it's not
up.
good. Yeah, you know trees have come down, and so that's not good, like you said out there. Cheryl Scott is here. You always think when you see that is take a live look outside. Talking about fighting cancer. There's
Look at
the
that.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield building. You wonder, is that storm going to make its way toward our area? So let's check in with Cheryl to find out.
Yes, it is so active out west, and they are just getting really hammered with system after system. I mean, some of these mountains are ahead of schedule with above average snowfall in a lot of the mountain locations, which is really impressive, but also they have to keep up with it. And it's, again, also causing issues that we just showed you. A lot of rain, a lot of precipitation coming in time after time. So flooding, flash flooding, mudslides, all of these things happening in California. You can see the action lighting up radar right now. Rain up and down the Pacific Northwest here, all the way down into parts of California and LA. They have flood warnings in place as well as winter storm warnings as well. The Sierras looking for several inches of snow out of this parade of storms. It's really an atmospheric river that is set up just outside of the U.S. and the Pacific, and it's going to continue to bring these storm systems in. So we're not done after this. More rain and more snow for the highest elevations. And in fact, Rob, some of this will make its way into the middle of the country and eventually into our area. We'll be tracking some rain and snow later this week, but you can see that rain from LA picking up in intensity up towards Santa Barbara, getting very heavy soaking rains, and then there's the Sierras. You can see that snow falling there. Something that we're going to continue to monitor for sure, and we're going to see a lot more weather stories coming out of California and the Pacific Northwest over the coming days in the next 2 weeks. AccuWeather here at home showing that temperature of 39 degrees. Clouds, they have settled back in. I guess they missed us. They had a short break today where we got some sunshine for the morning and the afternoon. Was beautiful to see for the short time that it was here. Temperatures in the mid to upper 30s. We were above average today, so we had the sunshine and highs in the 40s, the average 32, well above that for the day today. Now we have a weak disturbance that's going to swing on through tonight. Not a whole lot to work with here, but we do have the clouds that will continue to be in place for the overnight hours and a few sprinkles possible for some of you as we go into the next couple of hours closer to about midnight. You can see this front and the clouds just racing on through, but really not looking for that rain to set up until it's just off to the east of us there along the lakeshore of parts of western Michigan. Again, a few sprinkles possible between about 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. As we go into tomorrow morning, we are quiet. Temps starting off in the 30s, and then we'll rebound back into about the mid to upper 30s, low 40s for tomorrow afternoon. A few peaks of sun possible tomorrow afternoon, but mostly cloudy skies will dominate the day. But hey, we'll get our high temperatures back close to 40 degrees. But here you can see all of that action continuing out west. Well, some of it's gearing up, and for the middle of the week, starts to advance into the middle of the country out of the Four Corners region and then closer to us. And it's really not until overnight Wednesday into Thursday that the system catches up to the Midwest and the Great Lakes, and we'll see some rain starting off at first early Thursday morning, but also some colder air here. So we'll see a quick changeover from rain over to snow, a quick burst of snow expected Thursday afternoon into early evening. Not expecting a whole lot of snow out of this, something we're going to fine tune and tweak, but it will be messy in terms of travel conditions on Thursday with that rain changing over to snow. We're also monitoring the weather closely because, as you guys know, we have the Great Chicago Blood Drive that's coming up these days as well. We want to make sure everyone can get to the location safe and sound. Wednesday looking like the better of the two, but hopefully nothing too crazy on Thursday to get in the way of that turnout. So here's a look at that 7-day forecast. Highs in the 40s above average through Wednesday. Thursday, rain to snow. Friday down to 33. The weekend we get back up close to 40 and get you some sunshine over the weekend. Back to you guys.
All right, Cheryl, thank you. New year, new you. It's a motto said by many.
It is, or some people say, New Year, say me.
Yeah, I like me.
I do too.
I like you.
A better me in 2023. How about that?
That's good too, and it rhymes.
Okay, yeah, see? Well, but as you look to make new investments, you will need to be careful. Consumer investigator Jason Knowles explains boiler room investment scams and what to watch out for.
Hi everyone, you may be looking to make a new investment in 2023, but watch out. The IRS Criminal Investigation Office says each year thousands fall victim to boiler room schemes. These schemes use high-pressure sales techniques to convince victims to invest in fictitious investments that appear to be real. So don't complete online requests for personal information from websites asking if you are interested in investing. Fraudsters use that information to target you. Don't think that a website means an investment is legit. Fraudsters clone real investment company websites or make them up altogether with a fake company name. Double check employment information. Just because a cold caller uses the names of legitimate brokers listed on a company's website doesn't mean they are really affiliated with those brokers. More tips and information on reporting this type of fraud here on ABC7Chicago.com. Jason Knowles, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Jason, thank you very much.
Because a lot of people say the new year starts, I'm going to start saving better. That's one of their resolutions, which is a good one because you start at the top and then by the end of the year, you've got some great returns on your investment.
Yeah,
after you spend all your money in December, you know, the bills come in January.
Down, but it's still not. Yeah, it's hard to do.
And then you've got a tide. It's hard, but do the best you can, right, with all the information you just got from Jason. Thank you.
Up next, remarkable recovery. Still ahead tonight, the incredible updates. It's been a week from the doctors of Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin.
Plus, Prince Harry is revealing all his new comments on his family as his new memoir is set to come out tomorrow.
Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin back in Buffalo after being moved from a Cincinnati hospital. Hamlin tweeted today that doctors and nurses at Buffalo General are making him feel at home. Also thanked the many people who showed support for him on Sunday, adding he plans to put that love back into the world. Doctors describe his remarkable recovery after suffering cardiac arrest just 1 week ago tonight.
Damar Hamlin has met a number of key milestones on his journey to recovery.
We anticipate that he will undergo, an ongoing series of tests and evaluations to determine the etiology of what caused the incident on Monday night.
Those updates from those doctors were terrific. Doctors say Hamlin started walking around his hospital room in Cincinnati on Friday. He's tolerating a regular diet. It's nothing short of miraculous.
You have to believe in miracles when you see something like that. And I call this story the story of timing and inches, because had that player hit different location on his body and the timing of the heartbeat, because they said it had specifically timed out to hit that time.
It was just a freak thing.
I mean, right.
But you've heard that the trainers were on him performing CPR within a minute. and that likely saved his life.
Sure.
And then now it makes sense why the players were so emotional, because you see injuries all the time, and these guys get knocked out, right? Concussions, and they lay there unconscious, but almost immediately those players were freaked out.
Right.
And they gathered around, because we don't see any video out there of them working on him. They wanted to make sure those guys had their time to do that, and
they respectfully covered the whole situation, and they were all honored at the games yesterday, the football games yesterday, the EMTs, and their teams trained for this.
Yeah.
You know, at the beginning of the year, they're in a room, everybody talks about what are the possibilities that this could happen. They've spoken to, I've seen reports from hockey players and soccer players that the same thing happened to them, and that saved their life because CPR was administered within seconds, within minutes, because that's the life-saving
The day
measure.
after that, Michelle, our producer, we talked to a doctor about CPR here on the show.
Yeah.
And really, he kind of explained how that helped, what you can do. And it was just, it was a combination of so many things that had to go right.
Yeah.
I just can't believe that he's already back in Buffalo, and it's just hard to
Right. Well, and I love this, I love this.
That was
And I
all over
love
the
the
place.
fact that his charity, Rob, at the beginning of it, his goal was only $2,500.
It was at $2,500 that night.
Yeah. And then now it's passing $8 million,
His purpose will continue off the field
Yeah.
in ways that he never imagined. It's awesome.
We're just glad for his family that he's still here.
Yeah.
They have their son, he's still alive.
It's a weird night.
It was watching it was very tough because the speculation was rampant that night.
Totally.
What was happening, because there was silence. People even talked about the ambulance didn't have the sirens on. I mean, from everything.
Sat there for a little while. And
Yeah, so they were trying to get his mom out of the stadium.
Yeah.
She was in the stands because it was an important game. So we are sending all of our love and blessings to you
we'll
for
keep
sure.
following it too, and update you as his recovery
Yeah.
continues. Prince Harry, I don't know if you've noticed, he's all over the media these days.
Yeah, really. I hadn't noticed. Wonder why. What's tomorrow?
Yeah.
Tomorrow. His book.
Yes.
Yeah, his book hits tomorrow. I think it's midnight in London, and they were opening stores at midnight, so it's going on sale in London right now. People are lining up. So it's already, hit milestones. It is called Spare, if you didn't know. The title comes from the old idea that families needed an heir and a spare just in case anything happened to the firstborn. Prince Harry writes about his strained relationship with his brother, his time in the military, and so much more. But he also faces criticism over sharing so many personal details. He told ABC's Michael Strahan he believes it's just the first step toward reconciliation with his family.
I don't think that we can ever have peace with my family unless the truth is out there. There's a lot that I can forgive, but there needs to be conversations and then in order for reconciliation, and part of that has to be accountability.
Well, the interview with Michael Strahan was one of many interviews Harry has done to promote his new book. In an interview with a British broadcaster this weekend, Harry seemed to walk back some previous accusations of racism within the royal family. In his book, Harry writes that he and William tried to convince their father, Charles, not to marry Camilla after their mother's death. Well, Londoners, they have mixed reactions to Harry's book.
I thought it was completely unnecessary. I hope he puts it all behind him and moves forwards, but who knows with it. That wasn't for me personally.
I have a lot of sympathy for Prince Harry, honestly. I think what he's come out is not very comfortable. The things that he's saying is not very comfortable, but he's also a human being and has right to his own opinions.
I don't know. For me, I'm kind of like stuck between, because for me, there's always two sides to a story.
There's really three sides to a story. Yours, mine, and the truth, right?
Or the paparazzi over there.
Well, an ABC News special with Prince Harry will be available to stream on Hulu, and so much to unpack with this story. Amazon is already reporting record sales, a bestseller.
Do incredible. People want to know.
Yeah.
And people grew up with those boys. He talked about this in another interview I saw this weekend about walking behind his mom's casket. Kid's 12 years old with his brother, and it's just like, how do you do that?
And in the book, he does the audio version. He reads at the moment that his father comes in and tells him he sits on the side of his bed.
He remembers that forever.
You will remember it. And then another thing that I think that struck me is that he knew that his mother was being followed by the paparazzi, he thought that she really wasn't dead.
Yes,
that
till
she
he was
went
in his
away,
20s.
right? That she was
he
going to
never
come back
healed.
and call them.
And maybe this is part of his healing.
And,
Yeah,
and
he was into that.
therapeutic, you know, cathartic for him
Everybody
to talk
deals
about
with
it.
it differently.
Grief is different, you know.
For
and-
every single person on this planet, grief is different. However, we've discussed this on the show before. The media, the paparazzi chased his mom. She crashed, and Dodie Fide had crashed, and now he's got to go on this media tour to talk about the book. And it's rubbing some people different, right?
Well, he said he's had several versions of therapy.
Yeah.
Different types of therapy, and that has helped. He even asked a driver to drive him at the rate of the speed the car was going when it crashed, with his mother inside of it, because he wanted to remember and see what it felt like for her to be in the last moments of her life. And how he describes the last thing she saw on this earth were the flash of light bulbs coming from the paparazzi.
And so how do you blame a now grown man for his disdain of the media because of that? And yet some would criticize him and Meghan for saying, now you're using the media to further your cause with this book and the Hulu special, and now we're all talking about them again. So it's like you said, there's just three versions. What do you think? What do they think? What does the royal family think? I think it's fascinating. I really do, because these people have been part, certainly, of European culture and you know, the royal family, especially with the Queen just recently passing away. But these are...
He talks about that, not being able to get on the private jet with everybody.
They wouldn't give him a ride,
so
he says.
I mean, yeah, you know, it is fascinating, like you said, and there's more to come because apparently he signed a 4-book deal.
Yeah.
So there's still...
I did not know that.
Yeah, so
Michelle, our producer, she
tuned.
is the first at the library to get the book. So tomorrow she's going to be first in line at the library.
She will have read it by the time the show airs tomorrow at 7
She'll
o'clock.
write us notes and we'll talk about it even.
Yeah, we've got something even greater on tap tonight,
well
too.
done. Yeah, the Great Chicago Blood Drive. It kicks off day after tomorrow on Wednesday.
All right, everybody, coming up next, we are talking to a woman who makes it her mission to get people to donate, and it's all inspired by her very own health experiences. You have to hear her story of survival and sharing and caring. It's right after this break. So we'll be right back, everybody.
The Great Chicago Blood Drive is this week.
We are so excited. Every year at this time, donations fall over the holidays. The blood is needed, especially it is high this year after the storms around the holidays canceled a lot of blood drives.
So joining us tonight is Marie Fusel, who's been working to get blood drives and donors in the suburbs. Thanks for joining us. How are you tonight?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
We're thrilled and love your T-shirt, by the way.
Yes.
We're going to talk more about that because you can get one of those if you sign up.
Whenever you sign up, it's going to be blue this year.
Yeah. Marie, this is a personal cause for you. Can you tell us why?
Yes, I just celebrated 10 years in remission from blood cancer. Yeah, 10-year anniversary. When I was diagnosed, I was immediately quarantined and treated for leukemia. And throughout the course of my treatment, I received over 100 blood and platelet donations.
Wow.
And it was always there. And had I not had the blood available to me, I wouldn't be here today celebrating 10 years cancer-free.
10 years is quite a milestone, Marie. Talk about how many people 1 pint of blood can treat and save a life.
You can save up to 3 lives if you're one donation, and you can donate safely about, I think it's every 56 days, so 6 times a year. If you're healthy and able, you can be saving sometimes 1 to 3 lives with your blood donation.
But what would you say to people who are hesitant? Some people are afraid of needles. Some people don't want to see their blood come out of their body. What kind of advice would you give a first-time person who may see your story and be like, my goodness, I want to help, but I'm afraid?
Well, you never know. It was sudden. You never know when a family member might need blood, and it's not just for cancer patients. People living with anemia, sickle cell, organ transplant recipients, accident victims, burn victims, they all might need blood immediately to give them a fighting chance to live. So if you can just dig deep in your heart and make it a habit to donate blood. In this tough economy, things are so expensive, it doesn't cost you anything to donate your blood. It just costs you a little bit of your time and definitely patience. We have to follow health protocols, COVID protocols, so just be patient, donate your time and donate your blood.
You know, at this time of year, of course, people are doing a lot of gift giving, but this is what you said, a free way to give the gift of life. So talk about, Marie, what specific blood types? Are some better, easier, more hard to get? Talk about the importance of that and the variety of blood types that are needed.
Every type is needed. The universal O is really needed. So if you know that you are a universal blood type, please, we beg of you to donate your blood. And you don't need to know your blood type in order to go and donate. You can just go and donate, and they will test that, and they'll do all the work for you.
Marie Fusel, thanks for sharing your story. Yeah. I'm guessing we're going to see you in the next couple days in the Great Chicago Blood Drive, right?
We keep adding more locations, and now we're in the southwest suburbs, which was a mission. So there's plenty of facilities to make it convenient for people if they could go out and donate this Wednesday and Thursday at the Great Chicago Blood Drive.
The American Red Cross calls you one of their best blood drive advocates. It's clear why. So thank you, and we'll see you again in a couple days. And she mentioned there's more sites, and they're easy to find. Just go here. You can donate during the Great Chicago Blood Drive. It's Wednesday and Thursday. It's just hard to believe it's right here. There's 7 different locations. You can make an appointment. Learn more on our website, ABC7chicago.com. We said this earlier in the 6th, and I want to mention you'll get a free T-shirt.
Right, and something else, too.
An entry into a drawing for a trip for 2 to this year's Super Bowl down in Arizona.
In Arizona. Who doesn't want to go to the Super Bowl?
In February.
I mean, right. And the T-shir's really nice. She is an excellent ambassador. So we heart you, Marie, if you're still there.
I think we've had several people over the last week or so share their stories like her, and it matters. And you see that, and you realize, okay, I can go do this.
It is. The testimonials are inspirational. Yeah. Because if you see what you can do, you can really see how you can save a life. You feel good about it.
I'm excited to see Thursday. Our numbers, our viewers are extremely generous whenever we ask them to help, and I no doubt they'll do it again.
Yeah, they're going to come through. Yeah. It's a great way to start the new year off, too. All right. Well, Oscar nominations, they are approaching. Do you have some names, Rob?
Yeah, I can see some movies.
All right. Well, the award show this weekend giving us a clue of which films will be the ones to beat. Have you even seen any of them?
I've got work to do.
Okay, we got to talk about this on the other side of the break.
now that January is in full swing and my co-anchor, the 7's back.
Yes.
The Oscar buzz is growing. Nominations will be announced in just a few weeks.
Now, if you are wondering which films will be at the top of the list, you may be able to look at the National Board of Review, which handed out awards. That happened last night. Entertainment reporter Sandy Kenyon was there.
After a career lasting almost 40 years, Michelle Yeoh is having a moment, called the Best Actress by the National Board of Review for the quirky Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
I am the first Asian actress in the 45 years of the National Board of Review to receive this award. So it means the world to me, but I think it means so much more to everyone that looks like me.
Are we even going to talk about the elephant in the room?
Am I the elephant?
Janelle Monáe has won praise for her role in Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, which could put the Grammy winner in the Oscar race when nominations are announced later this month.
I hope that I make it to January 24th.
This coming week marks the start of Oscar voting when more than 9,000 Academy. Rhode Island, off the coast of Ireland, earned Colin Farrell an award as Best Actor, thanks to his skillful exploration of its universal themes.
Loneliness, community, the need for solitude, the need to be part of a friendship, what happens to the broken heart when a friendship is dissolved.
Farrell is a veteran of this sort of showmanship. Not so Gabrielle LaBelle.
It's nuts. It's very strange. I'll admit, I've never done an interview before this movie. I've never done a red carpet before this movie. I've never done a photo shoot.
Welcome to the big leagues, kid, where newcomers and veterans alike know the road to Oscar Sunday is a long one that requires the stars have plenty of stamina. In Midtown, I'm Sandy Kenyon, Eyewitness News.
All right, we got work to do, Rob.
Oh, I got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, a lot of Oscar binge watching because we've not seen any of those movies, but we've heard about them. The Steven Spielberg one, kind of the story of his life. That's got a lot of buzz.
The Whale with
Fabelmans.
Brandon Fraser.
Right.
People said, did you see that, Lee?
Wakanda Forever.
Have you seen the Whale?
Maverick or Top Gun Maverick, Wakanda Forever,
right.
Costumes.
Those sequels, I mean, even though they made a ton of money, and we have some updates on that if we get to it tonight on, are we doing that tonight? No. On Way of Water, Avatar's making a ton of money.
Oh, they had that too.
Sequels, it's hard for them to get the Oscars, right?
Oh, but that looks fascinating, though.
Yeah.
It really does. All right. Well, getting in shape, though, for the actors, that's tough, too, because, you were doing that. Are you
It's
trying
that
to,
holiday thing.
Oh, yeah, let's not talk about it. Let's not talk about it.
Our posture's wonderful when that camera light's on.
Right.
Ahead, Hugh Jackman shares what he eats to get physically prepared to play Wolverine.
All right. Plus, Jennifer Lawrence on the celebrities that she is starstruck over.
Really?
That's coming up next.
Jennifer Lawrence has starred in movies with Leonardo DiCaprio, Bradley Cooper, so you'd think she wouldn't get starstruck.
And she's Jennifer
This is
Lawrence.
true, right?
Okay, let's just start there. But apparently she fangirls too when she meets musicians. She told W Magazine that she would be starstruck if she saw Jessica Simpson. And she said when Ariana Grande showed up in her film, Don't Look Up, She looked like a radio contest winner standing next to Grande, who has an extraordinary voice. Did she make the 200 Variety Best Voices last week? I know you guys probably talked about that.
I think, actually,
Ariana
I don't
Grande,
know.
I don't know.
Those are interesting choices to be starstruck
I know,
by.
right? Because she's Oscar nominated. I think she has won an Oscar, J-Law.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, are you starstruck by anybody?
I think some people.
Besides our film
not
director?
Those two.
Like-
Yeah, right. I don't think, none of those people. But hey.
I know, right?
There were
Oh,
some
you
people.
probably would be starstruck if you met anybody who is from NASA, like
maybe,
astronauts or something like that.
Yeah, that's true, maybe. I don't know. It's hard for me to
But
get
nobody?
starstruck.
Okay.
Yeah. But I say that and not know, you see someone, you'd be like, whoa, I think
Like,
I would
oh
just
my
be
gosh,
nice
look
to
at that.
somebody, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I think people are more excited if somebody likes and retweets their famous person.
Yeah, you're like,
does that.
exactly.
Oh my God, can you believe Oprah liked my post? You know,
It is probably just like her staff. Like,
right.
Like, Cheryl,
Right.
look at her,
Like,
retweet it.
and then you screenshot it. Oh my God, is it really Oprah? You know, or Tyler Perry or somebody, you know.
Hugh Jackman is talking
Okay.
about how he gets in shape to play Wolverine. He's ripped in that movie. Now, during an interview, he said he never took steroids. He said he did it the old school way, which apparently involved eating a lot of chicken.
Oh, good.
Okay, Jackson's set to return to the role at least one more time in Deadpool 3 alongside Ryan Reynolds, his good friend, online frenemy. We had a story about them poking fun at each other, or it was him poking fun at Reynolds last week. So everybody's excited about that. And if you've seen him in that, I mean, there had to have been some
Chicken, though. Rob, do you get enough chicken?
I eat a lot of
You
chicken, and I have
because that's
little
good protein for
tiny,
you, right?
Yeah, olive oil arms, you know.
He does not. He's
Yes.
just making fun of himself, but that's
I
okay.
need more carbs.
Like, yeah, you need more chicken if you want to look like a Wolverine.
It's not going to happen.
Oh, it's not going to happen.
Well, I'm not going to look like
You work out
Wolverine.
more than most, though. You really do.
You know who's looking great? Larry Mowry is looking
he lost
great.
a
I think he's
lot of
hiding
weight.
some guns under there.
And he said he eats really well.
Yeah.
So that's what we always say and start the new year off with a resolution that we're going to eat better, we're going to exercise more. How's that going for you?
I made no resolutions.
You did? Good for you. Me
Right?
either.
No
I don't
commitments
think
to
so.
myself, which
Yeah.
is quite bad.
It's okay because most people by now they've broken them. Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. 9 days in. So Cheryl Scott's here with our last look at weather. Do you do any resolutions for the New Year's?
This year, I'm focused on connecting and networking with more people.
Okay.
That's a
anyone
great
want to be my friend?
I'm sure a lot of people. You have a lot of friends.
Now, are you
That's a
meaning
good
Cheryl
one.
in person or on social media?
No, like authentic
relationships. You want a hug? Here you
Yes.
go. Here you
Virtual
go.
hug.
Virtual hug.
Okay, well, good luck.
That part of my life is lacking.
Yes, see,
If anyone really wants to know.
That's a good one to have. That's
see,
an
thank you for
attainable.
being honest and authentic.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
Because everyone sees us
Yeah.
all of the time,
Right.
but we're here talking into a camera, so it's like the reverse of what everyone else looks at us as, right?
Right.
So we need to get out there front and center and meet people. Well, at least I do.
So how are you going to do it? Tell us how to do this, Cheryl.
I'm looking into
What's your
clubs.
plan?
I'm looking into things I can do in the morning on our off hours, which is totally different from
It's
everyone
odd
else.
working nights, yeah.
It's hard
When we
working
come in at
nights.
2 or 2:30 to do
Yeah.
this, but I think you can do it.
That's a
Yes.
great thing. We're going to check in with you 6 months, Cheryl.
I want to know how many new friends you have. Notable ones in particular. We like that. So.
Right.
So sad. You guys are my friends, though.
You and,
course.
you know,
We don't count.
you and Lola, you know.
Lola would
Lola needs new friends too, maybe.
Take her to like a dog event.
Well, you know, dogs do attract people.
Yes.
Like, I know
Sure.
they make people come towards you and
Yeah.
go, oh my gosh, Lola's so cute.
Lola has way more friends
Yeah.
than I do after her COVID TV debut.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, I love it.
Oh,
That's my resolution.
okay. I think it's a good one. Thanks for
Cheryl.
sharing
Well, we
it.
resolved to see more sun this
Right.
week.
Yeah,
How about
I'm going
that?
to work on that one as well. We'll try to fit that into some more of our more forecasts on the way. Unfortunately, the clouds are really increasing in coverage here as we go through the rest of this week. Temperatures in the mid to upper 30s, low 40s. O'Hare sitting at 39 degrees. The almanac showing our high today at 44, the average 32. So we're above average and we fit in some sunshine today. That is a winning combination. condition, and we haven't had it that many days this winter, the start of this new year either. A little dreary out there. The clouds are back in place, a cold front back to the west. Some showers here associated with that week, though, so we're really not expecting much besides just a few passing showers as we go late night around midnight, 2 a.m. Tomorrow morning, we're dry heading out the door, perhaps some patchy fog, a sprinkle or two. That's it. Temps starting off in the 30s into the afternoon. We get our temps back up into the mid to upper 30s. Some breaks of sunshine or breaks in the clouds, potentially fitting in a few peaks of sunshine tomorrow afternoon, but we can cross our fingers for that. The day will be dominated by mostly cloudy skies. And again, those temps in the mid to upper 30s, some of you hitting 40 degrees. So we have this little disturbance rolling through tonight, a little bit of a break, and then we are monitoring all of this action out towards the west, especially in California, getting hit so hard right now with storm after storm, periods of rain, flood warnings in effect, winter storm warnings in effect for the higher elevations and the mountains and the Sierras getting hit. Several inches of snow expected there. And take a look at LA, the heavy batch of rain that's moving in up towards Santa Barbara as well, pushing farther inland. This is making a mess of conditions here. They're not used to this type of heavy rain and so much of it at one time. So flooding, mudslides will be a big concern out there, and eventually some of this is going to head in our direction. Starting the middle of this week, pushing out of the middle of the country, the Four Corners region, and then getting close to us. Once we go into Thursday, we're going to look at those rain showers beginning to set up and then switching over to a quick burst of some wet snow on Thursday. So Thursday morning into the afternoon, it's going to get a little bit active and a little bit sloppy on the roadways. It won't be a huge storm system, but we are calling for the rain and snow showers there on our Thursday. For tonight, temps dropping off into the 30s. Tomorrow, highs near 40, partly to mostly cloudy skies expected. Quiet through Wednesday, rain to snow on Thursday, getting some sun, temps above average this weekend. We'll be right back.